Hello friends, James Stevenson reacting to a Wall Street Journal article that both announced start of production for the Tesla Cybertruck and warned that it faces an uncertain battery electric vehicle market for sales with inventories piling up all across the country. Are they right? Are they wrong? We will dive behind the paywall into the answer to that question after I check in with my co-host Loki, who is sleeping on the job once again. I will share my desktop with you and show you how the Wall Street Journal tweeted their article written by Nora Eckert. Tesla built the first Cybertruck at its factory in Texas, rolling out the futuristic electric pickup nearly 4 years after the prototype was announced. Okay, no problem so far. Let's check out this article. Hold on, if I can click in the right place. All right, here's the article at the Wall Street Journal. If you follow the link and see what's there, you'll find the headline, Tesla begins Cybertruck production after a years-long wait. You hardly ever see anybody use the word years-long, but hey, there it is. The electric pickup rolled off the line nearly 4 years after prototype was unveiled. Well, that's true, by Nora Eckert. We got a photo here of the Cybertruck captioned, Tesla celebrated the production kickoff of its Cybertruck as seen in 2021 in New York City on Saturday. All right, that's a weird way of captioning that, but fine. Then what happens down here? Well, you hit the paywall. You can only read the first part of the first sentence. Tesla built the first Cybertruck at its factory in Texas, rolling out the futuristic electric pickup nearly 4 years after the prototype was introduced. I didn't even see this article, so a shout out to Gabe Wilson, who brought it to my attention, replying to a different tweet of mine, nicely done, James, and yet another ridiculous Wall Street Journal article saying that Cybertruck faces an uncertain EV market, yet completely neglects to mention the tiny detail of the estimated 1.8 million pre-orders, the most of any vehicle in human history. They are just so insanely biased, was the tweet reply from Dr. Gabe Wilson. Well, I got my hands on screenshots of the article behind the paywall, so congratulations, I have brought you behind the paywall to the article at Wall Street Journal and added a few of my reactions being highlighted yellow boxes here. So you're allowed to take people behind the paywall if you're doing a reaction video. That's artistic license. So what do we have here? It's the rest of the article, and I'm not going to read it all to you, but you can pause the video and read this if you're on a device large enough that you can make out what it says. It's a lot of grounding, just stuff you would know if you followed the Tesla account on Twitter that they tweeted a photo. They don't even show you the photo from that tweet. I will later in this video, for those who haven't seen it. For the three of you who haven't seen that, that tweet photo yet, it got retweeted a lot. Bradford Ferguson brought that to everyone's attention. Hey everybody, you're all retweeting the same tweet, so it's cramming up everybody's newsfeed when you all quote tweet the same article. So talking about the competitive environment, Ford already has a F-150 Lightning on the market. Rivian already has an R1T on the market. With some speculation here that head start is really going to help them sell a lot more vehicles than the Cybertruck. Let me spoil the surprise for you right now. Cybertruck is going to outsell every Rivian by a lot. Okay, so what do we have here? Musk has slammed traditional designs like the F-150 has as boring and opted for a different look with the Cybertruck, which sports a triangular stainless steel exterior. Well, yeah, that seems like a strategy that might pay off for Tesla. We'll see. And here's the most questionable aspect of this article. Musk is facing an uncertain EV market as he scales production of the battery-powered pickup. Sales of electric vehicles have slowed in the first half of the year. Do you mean Tesla's sales? Well, no, Tesla's sales have not slowed. Tesla's sales are at record highs in 2023, both Q1 and Q2. The production and delivery numbers have been reported already for Q2. The earnings haven't yet, but that'll be reported very soon, Wednesday of this week. There were 92 days of unsold electric vehicle inventory at the end of June, a measure of stock availability based on recent sales trends, compared with a 51-day supply across all types of vehicles, according to Cox. Remember those numbers, 92 days of inventory, 51 days of inventory. I have an exhibit that's more informative than what's included in this article. A question a reasonable reader might have here is, okay, 92 days of inventory, is that how much inventory Tesla has? 51 days of inventory, is that better than what Tesla has? Let's go to the next slide here. Musk has warned that producing new vehicles such as Cybertruck would dent the company's growth. That is a bad read on what Elon meant during those Tesla earnings calls when he said, hey, the reason we haven't made lots of Tesla semis is because Tesla semis need lots of batteries. And we're a cell-constrained company still at this point. There aren't enough cells being produced on Earth that we can make all the electric vehicles we want. Buying from suppliers and producing our own electric vehicle batteries, as many as we can make, still aren't enough that we can ramp up Cybertruck and semi-production to very high volumes yet, is what Elon has said in the past. He wasn't warning that if they tried producing more vehicles, it would dent the company's growth. He's just saying, hey, there need to be a lot more EV batteries for us to buy and put into these vehicles before we can make a lot more of them. Several plans have been put on hold, he said. Well, yeah, while cell constrained, but as Tesla ramps up their own cell production and continues to buy more from companies like Panasonic, LG, and CATL, Tesla will be making and selling more electric vehicles. All right, so that's the article. Hopefully you've paused it if you wanted to read it. Here's what Tesla reported in Q2, 466,000 deliveries. That's an all-time record by a lot, by about 40,000 more vehicles than they broke in the previous quarter, selling, 425,000-ish vehicles, right? So what about days of sales in ending inventory? Well, the industry standard measure uses a 75-day quarter assumption. I've never figured out why they use a 75-day assumption, but using Tesla's most recently reported numbers, Tesla has about 17 days of inventory globally. The number is less than that in the US. So globally, most of what's dragging this number higher than where it's been in the past is that Tesla is ending the wave of deliveries with most of the vehicles that take the longest to get to their destination coming from Shanghai, those being Model 3s and Model Ys bound for Europe or Canada or other places. So here's a chart showing Rivian sales. Now, I can't take credit for this chart and wouldn't want to, but I saw it tweeted by Tesla 4K. I don't know if Tesla 4K made this chart or found it and retweeted it. But it shows the first 7 quarters of deliveries for Rivian, Tesla, and Lucid. These are small numbers we're dealing with here. Cybertruck is going to be selling way, way larger numbers than this. All right, what else do I have here for you? Here's the Tesla tweet. Here is the team in Austin, proud of having made the first Tesla Cybertruck, all except for this one individual who thought it would be funny to look upset. Everybody else is having a pretty good time. All right, here's an article from Clean Technica supporting the point Dr. Gabe Wilson made earlier in this article that Tesla's Cybertruck reservations have been estimated by Electrek to include more than 1.8 million orders, though they note that it's only a $100 refundable deposit, so some of those may cancel, but you're still dealing with a vehicle that has a lot of interest. There's a lot of people waiting for their Cybertruck. As anybody will tell you, just ask Ryan McCaffrey how many communications he receives, the host of the Ride the Lightning podcast, from people expectantly waiting for their Cybertruck to be produced so they can take delivery. So that's the end of the video. What do you think? Do other companies' slow BEV sales mean Tesla is doomed? That's kind of the implication I saw in the article. Will Cybertruck's futuristic look help or hurt sales? Does a point of differentiation versus other products help your sales or hurt them? I think the answer depends on the execution, depends how much the market finds the product to be compelling. The more compelling they find it, the likelier differentiation is to help sales, in my view. But leave your comments below. Is battery cell supply still a constraint for Tesla? This is a question I don't think we know the answer to yet. Tesla hasn't made a lot of semis yet. I think if they had, if they were really making lots of semis, we would know that they're not cell constrained. And finally, the last question I'll leave you with, does Nora Eckert know how much Cybertruck demand there is? Never assume malice when incompetence is a sufficient justification. And with that, that's the end of my presentation. So I will outro. Let me check in with Loki again. I like to do that right before the end of every video. And then I'll ask, have you enjoyed today's video? If you have, you can leave me a like or a comment. You could say, hey James, I liked this video. Or you can subscribe to my channel. If you're watching it on YouTube, there should be a subscribe button over here. You can also click a notification bell to be alerted whenever I post fresh content. Thank you to everyone who supports me on Patreon or on Twitter or on YouTube, as my 2 executive producers did at the highest support tier, earning them shoutouts at the end of every video. Thank you, Kathy Kitchler and Rebellionaire.com, and I'll see you in the next one.